Hey everyone, it's Melanie here, and today we're doing the telephone book tag. So I was tagged by the lovely Holly, by Lovely Day with Holly, and I'm so excited about this one. I was watching her video and literally for the last 3 of the books, I was thinking the entire time about this book. And with great response, she also ended up picking this book as the final book. I'll leave the original of this tag down below, as well as Holly's video. And we're gonna start with this book here. So Traces of Guilt has water on the cover, a hand gliding through the water, trees in the background, and trees reflected on the water, and this lovely blue color. I absolutely love this cover. This is a part of a series with Evie Blackwell, and she loves her Illinois State Police detective mostly. She's very skilled at investigations and has steadily moved up through the ranks. She would like to find Mr. Right, but she has a hard time imagining how marriage could work considering the demands of her job. And it goes on to this series. I said I wasn't going to read it. I think I might try it still. I don't know. I'm still so uneasy about it, but I still want to read it, so I keep it. And I have the second one of this as well. So anyways, we're gonna start the telephone book tag with this book. And we're just gonna be going basically on the covers. I love the ridge on this cover as well. These covers are really beautiful. So this is the cover for this one, and we're going to find a book that matches this one. My pick for this book is this book by Terry Blackstock, and it's the Southern Storm Cape Refugees series. It's got water on the cover, sand, sky, and the reflection of the sky in the water. It's quite nice. This is the second book in the series. Here's the caption. It says, "First a dead stranger, now missing police chief. Did Chief Cade run off to elope, or has he met with foul play?" Sounds really, really good. I love Terry Blackstock. She's a really great writer. I have not read this series yet. This has been in one of my recent hauls, and I plan on reading it soon. So to go with this book cover, I chose this cover by Colleen Coble. It's called Midnight Sea. It is a Aloha Reef series. Can you tell I'm into series with these picks? But I love the color. They're very similar, kind of pulling from that last book as well. This one's a bit darker, but it has the sea in it. It has the really nice blue sky. And I think they matched really well for that kind of look. This dark color pulls into the rocks as well and the deep dark parts of the sea. So it was really nice. I like this cover a lot. It's very intriguing, mystery, sort of suspense look to it, so that's nice. Romantics Time says, fascinating setting, intriguing characters, and well-researched detailed delight from start to finish. I don't know which one this is in this series. Oh wow. This one's the 4th in this series. There's 3 more books ahead of this one, so I'm going to really have to get a lot of the books for this. The back says, losing her sight turns Lainey's world upside down, bringing danger, mystery, and an unexpected romance. Oh, interesting. She loses her sight. Okay, anyways, I love this cover. It's quite dramatic, and I think it plays really well with the last book. So for this book, I chose this book by Julie Clausen. It's A Castaway of Cornwall, and the reason why I chose this book to go with this one is the rock face. So in this one, you have that nice rock face, and this one, you also get that rock face. It's really, really nice. And you get the water and the sky as well. It's less dramatic, but it still has that pull of the rocks and the water and the beauty of all that. So I chose this one. If you want to know what I think of Castaway of Cornwall, I did read this. Go on to my Goodreads, the link is down below, and see what I thought of this beautiful book. Please excuse the children in the background. They will be noisy. They are home for the summer. Okay, so I chose this book for the last one, and for this book I went with, oh, that's not gonna help. For this book I went with this one here. And the reason why is because, I don't know if you guys noticed that this girl, our main character, Laura, she has a cape, some sort of jacket, and she's in this frame, and the colors is cloudy sky. It's not quite clear. There's quite a bit of clouds in the sky, and she's alone, kind of just contemplating. And so for this one, I thought this was perfect because you get those clouds, you get the sky, and she's in a jacket and she's looking and contemplating. The other reason why I chose this one is down in the this area here, you see rubble, and it looks like stone, like rocks and stone underneath. And I just thought that really paired well with the stone in the background of this one here. Because it's not really a cliff, like it's more of stone looking. So I thought it paired really, really well that these went together. And yes, I have not read this book yet. I just hauled it in one of my previous hauls, and I'm really looking forward to it. I heard really great things, especially from you guys. You let me know how beautiful this book is, and I cannot wait to read it. It's not in a time frame that I love, but I think that this is going to be so beautiful. It's going to pull me in anyways. And yeah, I like also the dark contrast of red to this whole scene. It's very dramatic as well. A lot of these have like a dramatic theme to them. So yeah, beautiful. And also these gold colors pair well with the stone look in the last book. I like this cover a lot. So she's got like little library books tucked into her arm too. And yeah, there's a lot in this cover to tell you about the story, which I think is beautiful. Okay, so for this book, I found this book, and the reason why I paired these two up is because in the background of this one, you've got airplanes. Up in here, you have the airplanes and things like that. And so this one here is also to do with a war. More of an internal war of the city, and it has a plane obviously and a helicopter in the background, and this is a very small plane as well as the one that was in this book here. That plane is just like, you know, a very small plane. It's not really a large plane like a big fighter jet or something like that. So this small plane worked really well with that scene, and I thought played well, as well as the red color to match the red in her jacket. And of course the stone and cement with the skyscrapers, the city kind of around them, kind of like how she had the city sort of underneath her, around her though, and the street that she was probably on, and as well as in this scene. So this one is the final hour. It's the Homelander series by Andrew Clavin. I really love this series like a lot. It's YA and it follows Charlie West, and it's very action-packed, action-based, and it's very good. I did not finish, I finished every single book in that series except for this one. Just, I am really bad at finishing series. Like, hello, Melanie Dickerson. I still haven't finished that book because I do not want it to end. Yeah. Anyways, so I got to page 58 on this book and I stopped. I should read it one day. It's just when I liked it so much, I don't want it to end. Like, am I the only one who does this, or is this like a thing? Anyways, I thought this cover was great, very dramatic as well, and paired well with everything else that we were seeing. For this book, I chose this book here by Davis Bunn, Lion of Babylon, and the reason why, I'm sure you can see, is the little helicopter in the sky. You've got the little helicopter here, and the colors of the flames out of the airplane here, the colors of the flames are of course the yellows and the oranges, and then you've got a strip of yellow and orange here, and in the sky it's kind of like a yellowy orange as well. And so I figured I'd pull those colors into this book because it worked really well. You've got the yellow and you've got the city underneath here, and you have the helicopter. The colors are the same. And obviously this is a war sort of style. They're battling a war. And I have not read this series at all. I really want to. I have 2 books in this series. I think, yeah, Lion of Babylon is the first in the series. Yay, I have a first book. I think it's a standalone, but this book looks awfully similar. But I think it's a standalone. Does anybody know? Let me know. This book follows Mark Royce, and he worked for the State Department on a variety of clandestine assignments, that is, until personal issues led to his dismissal. What he discovers could transform the course of rivalry and reconciliation throughout the Mideast. Can one man summon the courage to make a difference? So same kind of like war sort of stuff, and I haven't read it. I really do want to read it. Yeah, I liked the cover of this so much. For this book, I chose this beautiful book. And the reason why is because in this one you can see sort of like the designs in here. It's very circular and very unique. Don't know if you can see that really well. And that paired really well with the circular design of this one in the cover. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really beautiful in there. As well as just the color tones. I pulled the yellow into the green in here, but mainly I think the reason why I chose this one is because of this design. I didn't see that in anything else, and I thought that that was really cool how it was linked in this sort of way. And then of course it is a battle that this book is based off of. It's the Warrior Maiden, and I liked that a lot. Oh, I just noticed that there's a little dragon in there. It's so cool. Anyways, I liked this pairing because of the fact that yes, it's very dramatic. You know, it's war sort of feel to it, very drama. And this I would say is very close to that with the design on the circular and that drama of everything else. And this is Melanie Dickerson's Mulan retelling. It is a really beautiful story. I loved it so much. It came out very close to when the Mulan movie from Disney came out as well. And yes, I loved it so much. It's following Wolfgang's story with her, and her name is Mulan. And yeah, beautiful story. So for this book, I went with this, A Daring Sacrifice by Jodi Headland. And the reason why is because of obviously the bow and arrows and the landscape. So she's in a very beautiful field. You can see it here. She's got like the mountainous sort of range above her, and then the fields here, and then the sky in behind her. And here we also have that sort of feel. Instead of the mountains, we have her under the castle, and we also get the mountain range, and we have the beautiful sky in the background, and we have a woman with a bow and arrow. The green also pulls in as well, and I really like that. The greens and the yellows pull into each other, as well as the subtle blues in each one. So that's really beautiful. I love this cover. I love all of Melanie Dickerson's covers, but this cover is really fun. Probably because I have red hair, and my hair when I was younger was as vibrant as this hair. As I've gotten older, it's dulled out, and I've dyed it and different things like that. But my hair literally was like that bright when I was young. And yeah, I love this cover so much. This follows Juliana, and she is like a Robin Hood retelling, but in a female. And the cap for this is, the only thing harder than fighting for what's right is fighting their feelings for each other. Classic romantic from Jodi Headland, A Daring Sacrifice. It's a great story. I really liked this story a lot. And yes, this cover is really cute. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is number 8. I haven't been saying the numbers. And so for the pairing for number 8, we're going to go with this one by Melanie Dickerson as well. She has a lot of covers in my thing, so I had to pick a lot from her. I'm sorry. and it's the Fairest Beauty. And the reason why I chose these was because of the color, the yellows, the greens, and the forest in the background paired well with hers. And in this one we have the gentleman in the back here has a bow, and yeah, so that was kind of like the same. And you've got sort of like that purpley and red tones as pulling into her corset and her cape, and the forest and the yellow in this kind of matching into that, and then being in the forest as opposed to out, and also kind of like the stance, they're both looking off camera, and I really liked that aspect of this as well. The font is somewhat similar, but not really, just kind of somewhat similar for the Beauty and the Fairest. But other than that, yes, I do like this cover. I love this book so much. This, I think I even gave this one maybe a 5-star. It had all the feels and I loved it. It's a daring rescue, a difficult choice. And look at that, my phone's ringing. Okay, I don't know where I was because the phone started ringing. Anyways, this was the one I picked last but not least. There's one more to go, and that is the one I'm going to be able to tag someone with. So let's get started. For this book, I chose number 10, dun, da, 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 To Best the Boys by Mary Weber. So the reason why I picked this one, it seems so different, but when you're in a forest, it feels like a maze. And she's obviously running, and she's kind of like going through the forest. And if, you know, the feel of having it be, you know, Snow White, she kind of gets lost in there, and I feel like it's sometimes like a maze. And so when I saw this with the forest and sort of the trees and everything, I really liked that pairing. As well as this has yellow in her dress, and if you notice on this cover, she is a girl with a yellow dress in the middle of the maze, and I really liked it. There she is right there. I also liked the font. I think it's very sweet. It's kind of a mix between these two fonts as well. But that's really why I chose it, was the feel of being in a maze in the forest, as well as the yellow pulling together the dresses. And yeah, that's it. So this is the final book to do. Okay guys, I don't know where I left off, but this is the book we are ending with, and I tag a few people. I tag Pretty Little Paperbacks, Celestria, and Jane Reads. This is the book you need to start with, and then you do 10 books after this, and you pick them based on the covers and the similarities of the covers. I can't wait to see what you guys' picks are. It'll be so fun to watch you guys do this. And this is the last book in this. I loved this tag so much. I think it's super fun. I love graphic design and book covers, of course. And so yes, I'm so thankful to be tagged in this video. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like I've been away from you guys for a little bit longer than expected because I did a live in between normally my videos. I do about 4 videos a month, and so that way you guys have one a week, usually or typically during the month. If you missed my last video, which was a live, I will link it here after this video, and you can watch it, and I'll see you in that video. Have a great one, guys. Bye!